Hi, Michael here for Info Exchange. In this quick video, I'm going to take you on a very brief tour of the Services Australia website. This is just to give you a sense of, after a disaster in recovery, where you can get information on the different services and supports available and how it's organised on this website. Hopefully, this will give you a chance to kind of get comfortable with it before you go and have a look yourself. Alright, let's go have a look now. Okay, so here I am across on a browser internet window, so we can look up the Services Australia website. Now I'm just going to take you on a quick tour of what's on the website and where you can find information. It's quite full of information, so hopefully by looking at this video you can orientate yourself a little bit before you get there, so it's not overwhelming. But it's recommended that you get familiar with this site long before a disaster or an emergency, so that in recovery you've got a good sense of where you can go to directly to get information on different supports and payments and things that are being offered. So let's have a look at that now. You can simply just type in Services Australia to get to that website. And you'll see on the website here there is a few things. On the far right you can log into MyGov and your account if you know. I won't do that now because it can be complicated, but I recommend if you're familiar with MyGov, you do that because that's going to link directly to different payment services and things. There is a search bar here for finding information on the site, but also there's news here which are going to be covering kind of more recent disasters and emergencies. So now as I'm looking at this in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, you'll see there's information here around different supports and things that are available around COVID. If you're looking at this post and in recovery of a particular disaster or emergency, you're going to see reports related to that and find that information. Now, if you go down here, you'll also find stuff on individual claims. And it's worth from here, if you're looking as a person or an organisation, it's worth looking at help in an emergency from this site. This is going to be covering major disaster recovery and emergency support. So this is most relevant for you in recovery from a disaster like a bushfire. So if you come across here, similar setup's going to show you events and how to claim support or financial support for them. So this one here, for example, talks about claims for people directly affected by bushfires. You'll also see going down that there's some subjects covering very specific information depending on your circumstances, and you can look into more detail there. I'm going to show you having a look at this one. This is how to get bushfire support. It'll give you an idea of how this information brings in from lots of different agencies and areas, so it's going to look different when you look at it. And once you start to kind of head down a path, you're going to get different information. But let's just have a look at what kind of thing you can get. So this is most recently talking about Queensland fires. So it's showing from November through to February 2020, and there's some information here around additional support. If I have a look at what it shows here, eventually you'll find your way to specific recovery payments or help for a situation related to you. So it is worth noting that because this has so much information from all across the country, it may take you a little bit of digging to get down to what you're exactly looking for. Alternatively, the search, if you know exactly what you're looking for, the search engine will get you there. So I'll save that statement for later. But looking at this one, we can see that there is 2 disaster recovery payments available at the moment, and this one's for Eastern Queensland bushfires. And finally, once you get down to here, you'll start to get information on how you can claim what the payment is, who can get it, how much you can get, how to claim, and other services. So eventually through here, you'll be able to break your way down to the claim process. So once you've got to the specific information, you can see about claiming over the phone, printing out a form, what you need to do ahead of then, and how it works. So eventually what you do in a particular disaster is you would find your way to this claiming information for you. And that's how the site works. You'll note also that it'll link to a service like Centrelink, and there's also a button here to listen to the content of the website. If there's a lot to read, if your English is your second language, you might want to click on that to find out. If we go all the way back, let's just see if we can get to that information from the search. So if we were to go see how well the search works for you. Okay, so if you know specifically what you're looking for, it's worth just going straight from the search. And you'll see here that this is going to bring us to, took us a few levels to get down to this payment, but from a search, I can now get straight to it. So I recommend the use to decide if you know that there's a disaster or recovery payments available for you, go straight into the search, look for it, and you're going to get clear and accurate information on how to claim. I recommend going to that as a source of information, as things that can be going around social media or other sources can be incorrect or misleading. But by all means, if you know somebody else is making a claim or is an awareness as another organisation or service in your area, speak to them about how to claim as well, and they'll hopefully be able to clear some of that up for you. But I hope getting to see this website is useful in giving you a basic idea of what is there and what you can get to.